A bereavement buddy basically is trying to help the person who's grieving figure out what's going to help them most. The key part of it is being available to talk, and different activities can encourage communication from a person. So you try and match up what's going to most benefit that person.
To me, a bereavement buddy is a person who is a support person to someone walking the path of healing after grieving. You provide support, and many times in the process of providing that support, you receive support yourself that you didn't even realize you needed or wanted.
Most people who are grieving have friends and family, but many times they feel still alone because those friends and family, even though they may be well-intended, don't necessarily know what to say or what to do to help them, or don't understand why their grief process is taking longer than what they think it should. And that puts a lot of pressure on the individual who's grieving. As a bereavement buddy, you're trained to be aware of the fact that grief has no timeline, and everyone grieves differently. So being able to truly listen to someone and hear what all they're experiencing and try to understand where they are is really, really important.
The success, I think, in the relationship is when you realize that you have to be whatever it is that day they need you to be. Flexibility and empathy are great tenets of this program. There are times when you laugh with them, you cry with them, you do whatever they need you to do with them.
The focus of the program is to help the person figure out what's going to help them best as they're grieving. To have someone that walks side by side with you as you're going through a very difficult time can become very meaningful to someone. And again, a distinction between a bereavement buddy and a counselor is very important. There are professional counselors on staff in Four Seasons Hospice. A bereavement buddy is not providing therapy, is not a trained professional. A bereavement buddy is someone who is being a companion to you and listening to you and providing other kinds of support to an individual as they're going through the grieving process.
Many times I will walk away from time that I've spent with someone and think about what we talked about that day and how it might fit into the scheme of helping them in this journey that they're taking. And I realized how much I have learned in the process about other topics. It's educational on top of helpful. We're talking about a time commitment of approximately 8 hours a month. But there again, it can vary, and yet you can still give your all without giving 40 hours a week.
And it's actually pretty amazing how much you can cover and how much you can help someone with just that amount of time per month. Grief is messy. It's not linear. It's not where you can just check off a bunch of steps that you go through and say, okay, I'm done with this. You know, it's messy, it's raw, it can be very confusing. And the Bereavement Buddy program is meant to help that person who's grieving feel a little less alone and a little less scared.
We are Four Seasons, the care you trust.